that's an important first step because most people are not diagnosed. They need to be diagnosed. We have 37 memory clinics throughout the state of Wisconsin where you can get diagnosed.
When I started, again, 17 years ago, we had doctors who still weren't diagnosing it because there isn't a blood test to diagnose it with. And there isn't a lot in terms of medications they can give them after they have the diagnosis. That's completely changed. Now doctors are doing the diagnosis as early as possible. You're seeing people coming in their 50s getting a baseline for where their brain is at 50. And then at 60, if they feel, or at 70, they feel that they're having some changes in the brain, the doctor can go back and say, well, here's where you were when you tested at 50. Here's where you are at 70.
An MRI is relatively inexpensive and repeatable over time, might be the right tool. And what we're doing is we are looking at brain connectivity. We measure the levels of magnetic activity in the brain, and depending on where these peaks and valleys are, we know how the brain is talking to itself. It's like a symphony of music that you can look at these magnetic waves. And you don't have to be a musician, but if you hear an orchestra playing, you know that's nice music. And if you know there is a violin that's not playing well, you can see a dissonance. You can see there's something wrong in this. This is not good. Well, we're doing a similar approach by looking at these multiple magnetic fields and how they interact with each other within the brain, telling us how well connected it is. It's hopefully an indication of brain reserve, the ability of the brain to be well connected and stave off the onset or progression of this disease.
That's one of the big things that I do in the community is I talk with people about the urgency of getting help early because there are medications, there are services, and now there's all kinds of efforts to prevent dementia or stave it off with things like brain games and health. And they're really learning a lot through the research, especially in our state, about how your health relates to dementia symptoms.
Physical activity probably is the single most important thing you can do. And you don't have to do fancy things. You like go to the gym or jump up and down, just park the car as far as possible, the shopping mall, build it in the daily routines. Avoiding stress, easy to say, very hard to do. Managing, eating, as I say to myself sometimes, eat with your brain instead of with your gut, so that think about what you're doing when you're eating. And everything in moderation, of course, including moderation. You basically grow old the same thing you lived your life. If you abused alcohol and didn't wear a helmet and you ride motorbikes, guess what? When you get to be 70 or 80, you're going to start paying the price for that lifestyle. So the idea is to really do some of these kind of healthy brain interventions early.
A mindfulness meditation is also really important in the literature now that they're finding. Your diet can make a big difference. I think some of the refined foods like sugars and white flours and things like that can actually make your brain operate less functionally, so to speak. And there are things that can affect your memory too, like lack of sleep or sleep apnea, things that you wouldn't even really think about. And so really taking care of your brain is really important. People used to think that dementia was people in nursing homes, and they used to be afraid of being put in a nursing home, and that's just not the case anymore. There's so many options. People can live at home until they pass away.
In the early stages, you can live at home with the disease without any problem. There are many people in Wisconsin who have Alzheimer's disease who are still living at home by themselves. And you're competent for a long time. People will live at home. In some cases, they'll remain at home forever. They'll have the resources to bring in services. Home health can do an awful lot in terms of allowing someone to remain in their home.
People can also move to an assisted living, which is very home-like, and it's not a nursing home. And even the nursing homes are becoming more home-like. So it's not a death sentence. There's lots of life to be lived with dementia.
With a caregiver, I generally explain a little bit what needs to be done in the short term, whether it's the driving, the financial management, the potential behavioral problems. And I would say that this anticipatory planning is the most valued part of the visit that the caregiver does. Because if they know what might happen, behavior-wise, anxiety, insomnia, all of these kind of things, or in regards to loss of ability, the handyman cannot fix things, difficulty with language, when these things happen, they're not as scary. and they're prepared for them.
The biggest service that we can give a caregiver is support. Dementia care specialists are excellent at doing it. We offer classes, we have a family counseling, education type of program that we do. We can help look at what their burden is and which things for them to get help with.
When you're diagnosed, the family needs to be aggressive and seek assistance either from the Alzheimer's Association or the Alliance or the Aging and Disability Resource Center or any other nonprofit they're familiar with in their community to help them access a variety of services. You don't have to do this alone. I think that's the important thing. I think the proactiveness of people with newly diagnosed, I think if we can continue to encourage them to stay engaged, I think that offers the most hope. And hopefully we'll come up with a cure in the not too distant future.